Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann, and it's just me. And I would like to talk about what I was supposed to do last Friday evening that I didn't get to do because of crybabies. I had tickets to go to the Bankas comedy show, or at least one of the 6 shows that were scheduled at the Laugh Camp Comedy Club in St. Paul for last weekend that were ultimately canceled because Ben, who likes to rankle feathers and push boundaries and does not care what he says or who he offends, made some jokes about deceased ICE murder victim Renee Good. Aww. And people questioned the timing, and other people questioned whether he should have said anything at all. And video of him making fun of the event surfaced from a show he did in Poughkeepsie, New York, and immediately everybody was freaking the fuck out. So that resulted in the club feeling pressured, and the owner, who said in the interest of safety, the shows would be canceled. The quote is, after discussions with and concern from public authorities, legal counsel, and staff, combined with heightened threats, increasing media attention and civil disorder, we have determined the risks and related liabilities cannot be overcome. That is out of the mouth of the owner of the Laugh Camp Comedy Club in St. Paul. Again, if you missed it earlier when I said where it was going to be. I'm going to tell you this. Ben Bankas is known for making fun of anybody and everybody. He's conservative. He's pro-Trump. He's Canadian.
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
He makes fun of Olivia Chow, the mayor of Toronto, who's an uber-progressive liberal. And he poked a lot of fun at how many East Indian people had immigrated to Canada and were Uber Eats drivers, in his opinion, and how they were shitting in public on beaches and just covering it up because that's what they do in their country. Ben is not for everybody. But then again, humor is subjective. Comedy is what you make of it and what you're willing to put up with and listen to. And in this instance, 6 sold-out shows that I have to imagine were a total of probably 1,200 tickets, roughly. And the club and Ben had to work out a deal where I believe he got paid anyway for them canceling on short notice. And it's just like all these people that just wanted to go there and have a good time. And all these crybaby libtards, they're like, oh, you can't make fun of sad stuff. You fucking can. You probably shouldn't. But here's the deal. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to pay attention. Nobody's holding a fucking gun to your head and saying that you got to listen to his jokes. And people like me that wanted to go, and I haven't been to a comedy show in a long fucking time. Long fucking time. Many years. I wanted to go out and just have a night and just laugh. And I knew he was going to come here and light up Minneapolis for the ICE raids and the Somali fraud, and it was going to be a good time. But I didn't get to.
Talk soccer!
And back to the club now. I feel it's bullshit that they canceled it and quoted safety concerns. You know, Ben was willing to hire armed guards to walk him into the club and such. That's how serious he was about still performing for this crowd. And I'm just going to say this. You knew who he was when you booked him. It should not have been a surprise that having him at your place of business was going to piss some people off. Just like if you were to have a hardcore gangster rap performer do a show in the Bible Belt somewhere, a lot of parents are going to be pissed. There's a lot of pearl-clutching, super sensitive fucking people that are like, no, you can't come here and tell jokes. How fucking dare you? And again, it's comedy. And I don't know how many comedians have to say this. You don't have to listen. You don't have to ruin it for everybody. You act like the fucking fun police. I get why you're so upset that he made that insensitive joke, but it's a joke. Just fucking roll with it. Just move beyond it and don't fucking worry. Instead, you have to make it your mission to what I can only presume is bombard the club with calls and tweets and emails and complaints, and even go so far as to bitch about it on Reddit. I found a few threads, and this is how fucking disgusting some of these people were. They weren't just trying to get it canceled, and then when it was canceled, they weren't just happy it was canceled. Some of them were like, oh, I wish Ben Bankas would die. Go fuck yourself. Really. He's not going to lose any sleep over you. He still got paid. And in the long run, all you did was boost his profile to the stratosphere. And now he's going to make more money because of you guys. And to those people that were in the thread like, yeah, well, if they would have had the show, I thought people should have gone there and taken their phones and video recorded the faces of those that were going in and coming out of the show so that the internet could see who these people are. Like, is that really what we're living in today, society-wise? Is people that enjoy things that you don't like or that trigger you, you want to dox them so they suffer for your own sense of moral superiority because he made jokes about a woman who, quite frankly, she fucked around and she found out. Okay, Renee Good went there and was harassing ICE agents. Yes, she thought she was fighting the good fight. I don't necessarily disagree, but once you start using your car to block people and you show up when they're trying to make arrests and you're trying to impede federal officers, you're just asking for trouble. So she put herself in the crosshairs, pun intended, and it's just the backlash I get. But going out to cancel comedians, this is just society's next step from all the times that conservative speakers try to go to college campuses and the crybaby libtard kids that fucking attend school there are all like, I don't feel safe with this person on the campus. I don't want to listen to negative ideas or things that contradict my own beliefs because then I might feel bad about myself. And I should never feel bad. My parents told me that. That's when they put all my drawings on the refrigerator, no matter how fucking stupid they were and how bad and crudely drawn they were. They put all my art up because I'm special and I never had a timeout and they never told me no and I can't fucking handle adversity and I just want to go to this liberal college and earn this worthless degree and have $137,000 in student debt, also that I can feel safe because I prefer to live in an echo chamber of my own bullshit.
You're a stupid dumbass.
And beyond the people that were advocating for doxing fans of Ben Bankas, we have to worry about some of these people being so angry at those that don't believe what they believe or will laugh at tragedy, which, by the way, is said to be next to comedy. I wouldn't have been shocked if somebody threatened the bar with a bomb or somebody came out there and brandished a weapon, because that's what we're living with these days from the crazy screw-loose left. They cannot, for the life of them, seem to peacefully let other people with differing opinions coexist with them and then try to talk with them and reason with them and use logic to build a bridge between them. Maybe you could bring people to your side. But anybody that is like, I'm glad they canceled the Ben Bankas show. Okay, well, what if you said something that was so far left that it felt dangerous and I reported you to the FBI and you got arrested and lost your job, and then I celebrated that? Which one of us is the bigger dick? Trick question. We're both equally as dickish because we want the other person to suffer for having opposing views. Except that maybe in this instance, the person that could be reported to the FBI is the supposed leader of the Minneapolis branch of Antifa, who is a bald man who says everybody needs to take up arms and, forcibly defend themselves from this tyranny. Now, he can't own a gun because of his criminal past, and he needs you to help him by sending him large sums of money, which he refuses to express what he's going to do with those dollars you send him. And he also likes to every now and then put on a dress, go out dancing, and I assume get fucked in the ass. And that's his cup of tea, but I don't think he needs to be advocating for gun violence, and maybe the FBI should look that guy up. Instead of people being so pissed off at a comedian for making one comment about somebody who was killed by ICE. You couldn't even mention all the mean shit that he says about Olivia Chow, or all the impressions he does. I'm Olivia Chow, and all the Muslims and trans people. All his impersonations of Olivia Chow, and all the fucked up shit he says. I didn't hear any of that as reasoning for why you wanted the show canceled. Just this one thing. So now I have to ask these people, hypothetically speaking, if you're so fucking in an uproar and your panties are twisted up your ass crack about Ben mocking Renee Good's death, which, again, I don't agree with, would you still have been against him coming here if he had never said that? If his body of work spoke for itself, sans the comments about Renee Good he made during a show in Poughkeepsie, New York, everything else was standing, would you still have been so against him coming here? And if so, why? It's his right to free speech. Comedy is not to be taken literally. The only people that don't understand humor and take everything for absolute cereal are autistic people who don't fucking understand nuance and sarcasm and humor. And you have to realize that comedians will poke fun at terrible, terrible things to elicit a reaction. It's almost like they're pointing out all the fucked up shit that goes on in society and putting a comedic spin on it so that you'll laugh and pay money to hear them say it so they can live off of that. Weird. And the owner is saying that he might be out up to $17,000 from this decision. And I guess you signed the contract and you knew who he was. You knew what you were getting. He didn't just fucking cold call you like, hey, I tell jokes. Will you pay me money to tell jokes? And you're like, okay. And you didn't research him first.
He seemed like a nice guy.
Ben Bankas is represented by Creative Artist Agency. And they are demanding the club fully compensate Bankas for the canceled shows due to the fact that he was willing to perform. And they tried to cancel it a week beforehand. And then, a few days before, he wanted to perform. And people wanted to see him. And now CAA is saying it will not allow any of its other clients to perform at the club until the matter is fully resolved. Now, People Magazine is where I'm getting some of these quotes from. And they try to get a hold of Creative Artist Agency, who did not immediately respond to the request for comment. But Ben Bankas, he is doing just fine. There's a clip of him talking at another show, and he's like, I just found out that my shows were canceled in Minnesota, which, the crowd's booing. And he's like, fuck them. Seemingly talking about the club. And he went on with working on a new venue and dates for the fine people of Minnesota. So he's trying to come back here. The man is booked pretty much for the rest of the year, so I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to see him live, if ever again, in 2026, before the world ends in nuclear war thanks to Trump and other bullshit. But it just goes to show you how sensitive people are being and how they will make it their mission to punish anybody involved in anything that they don't like. But then they will also say, you need to tolerate my extremist views and my white knight mentality. No, I don't. You're all a bunch of fucking pussies. You call ICE sissies for wearing masks, then you fuckers go out and call yourself Antifa, and you cover your faces.
Oh, really?
And to that I say, it's as hypocritical as, say, a priest who says that fornication outside of wedlock is wrong. Well, he is currently in the late stages of a career he spent fucking altar boys in the mouth back in the sacristy. You see my point? Ben Bankas is going to be fine. The club might not. His fans are going to be angry at the club. The next venue that books him, and this isn't the first time he's had cancellations. Indian casinos have shut him down, but then opposing casinos have said, yeah, come on, we want your money. We want all that business. Dollars are what makes sense. These are businesses, and they will do anything to get your hard-earned green. So don't sweat for Ben Bankas. He's going to be fine. He's going to be rolling in dough. He's got shows for the rest of the calendar year. He's high profile. He's got his podcast. He goes down to the Comedy Mothership in Austin where he lives, nearby Joe Rogan's club, and he's on Kill Tony all the time, and he's welcome in there wherever. So take that for what it's worth. You really put a fucking dent in his legacy there, crybabies of Minnesota. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann. And that's the end.